Welcome to the third episode of Send Me Your Team, and we have another 5 teams here today. I've tried to pick the more interesting teams. I appreciate everyone who sent their team. I'm not going to get to every team and might not get to every DM, but yeah, I'll at least look at them and consider them for the video. But yeah, a few more of these videos to come, so should be a decent chance that your team gets shown. But the first team we have here is Benjamin's team, so thanks for your team, Benjamin. And look at his defence. Lloyd and Laird is pretty standard, and then Zach Williams. I'm not a fan of Zach Williams. What's interesting is that's come out is Jack Martin said that he and Williams are going to play 50-50 midfield and forward. And I actually mentioned this in my player picks video of Zach Williams, that he can play half forward. So that certainly doesn't help him as a pick. It doesn't do him any favours. He can probably still score a little bit there, but it's not a Supercoach friendly role. So for me, now we have a role issue with Zach Williams on top of the ridiculous injury history that he has. I would not pick Zach Williams, and I understand the upside is there. He is cheap, but now we have 2 issues to deal with injury and role. So not interested in Zach Williams. Wayne Miller I'm not interested in either. I watched the intra-club for the Crows, and he played all over the ground. He played wing, he played inside mid, he played half forward, and I think he drifted back a little bit late in the game. That's not good for Supercoach, and that's not good for Miller as football, in my opinion. I believe that a big reason as to why he's been inconsistent is because he's been constantly moved around, and he's also an injury risk. I would not pick Wayne Miller. And then, yeah, rookies look fine. The midfield looks really standard. Probably the most common 4 in here, with Neil, Oliver, Cripps and Rao. And then Jack Steele. I'm a big fan of Jack Steele, and yeah, he's in my team, so I think that's a great pick. Rory Atkins is an interesting one, so he'll probably play outside for Gold Coast. I believe he's had an interrupted pre-season, so that probably means he starts a little slower, I guess. See how he goes in the pre-season, but for me, you might as well go up to a Heppel type, because Atkins, I didn't think he wasn't best 22 at the Crows, so is he best 22 at the Gold Coast? Given how much they're paying him, probably. But I'm not a fan of him as a footballer at all. But it wouldn't surprise me if he gets dropped at some point, but not exactly sure. But yeah, for the Crows, I didn't think he was much good. And yeah, I think the rookies are fine. Powell maybe plays. Apparently, I didn't think he would play, but it seems like he's doing well in the pre-season. Just thought he was a little raw, but yeah, big numbers in juniors. So keep an eye on Powell. Gordon Grundy, fantastic. I don't think we really have much other choice at this point. And Flynn at R3, I think that's the play. And in the forward line, Dangerfield I think is fine. I'm not a fan of a player over 30 that's coming off a 5-month groin injury. Not for me, but I get it. He's very durable outside of this pre-season. And yeah, Shai Bolton, interesting. Does he get the mid-minutes? Maybe if Prestia goes down, I think Prestia might not play early. Not exactly sure. So, again, I'm not sure on his mid and forward split, but Bolton is one that definitely passes the eye test, and I think he's done okay this preseason. I haven't read too much on him, but I heard that him and Dusty were running amok in their preseason games. Oh, in their intra-club, I think. So, keep an eye on Bolton. A little risky, but I think he just looks really, really good in the midfield, and I think they'll use him there. I still want to get a look at him in the preseason, but again, worried about, is he going to be a premium, or is he gonna play a little bit forward? So I think he'll play midfield though. Zebo MP Cockatoo, yeah, this is fine. So Cockatoo I'm a little worried about because he had a minor hamstring niggle, but nonetheless just keep an eye on him. But I'm very tempted to not start Cockatoo even if he plays round 1. So thanks for your team, Benjamin. I like it. It's a good team overall. The next team we have is Brad's team. So thank you for your team, Brad. And I look at the defence. Again, we have Zach Williams here. I'm not a fan. And just quickly, this team does have Ron Marshall. So again, a few teams have been outdated that have been sent to me. But with Ron Marshall, you just, for the purpose of this video, you just substitute him for like a Dustin Martin or something. But yeah, we'll get into the defence. Lloyd and Laird, fantastic. Williams and Witherden. Okay, so again, I've explained my points on Zach Williams. I'm not sure on his... Again, he might be playing 50-50 forward and midfield, and then he's super injury prone, so not for me. And Alex Witherden showed a lot of promise, and I think in the past he's had issues with his endurance. maybe work ethic issues. I'm sure all players work very hard, but again, it's at the AFL, the very top level, you got to really be switched on. So is that improved this year? I'm not sure. Is he even best 22? I assume they recruited him to be. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure on Witherden. It just feels a little risky, and yeah, I want to know if his job security is... I can't pay that much for a player when I'm not 100% sure their job is secure. So, but the good thing is with Witherden is he has shown a decent scoring ability. Scored a 170 last year, so has a good ceiling in him. But can he do it consistently? I'm not sure, and for that reason, I'll just keep him as a watch for now, but it seems a little risky. But if you really believe in the pick, then I don't mind. And yeah, defender lookies look fine. So the midfield, big Ollie Wines here. I think, Christian Petrarca as well. I think Christian Petrarca is fine. Ollie Wines is an interesting one. So played really well in the second half of last year. I just look at his history of scoring, and it seems like he's in the best shape he's ever been in, biggest preseason he's had, but at the same time, a lot of averages under 100 over his career, and he's 26, so it's 26 in his prime, but it feels late to take that next step. Well, not really actually, but yeah, with Ollie Wines, it's very hard to tell. Like, it's quite a big jump to get to 110 for him, because most years he hasn't got near it. Keep an eye on him, but yeah, contested ball winning midfielder, perfect for Supercoach. Disposal a little bit iffy, but keep an eye on Ollie Wines. But yeah, all the talk in Port Adelaide seems to be Ollie Wines and Butters, so keep an eye on him, but I prefer to pay an extra 50k for like a Zach Merritt or something who's much safer. So that's just my view, but if you believe in the pick, yep, go for it. Cripps and Rail's pretty standard, it's fine. Will Phillips we need to keep an eye on. Sounds like he's played a bit half forward flank in the intra-club, and maybe not as advanced as we thought, given he's had an entire year off. Keep an eye on Phillips. My view is I'd rather pay an extra 100 for like a Hep or Haley, but again, those two we need to watch in the pre-season, especially Haley. But yeah, I'm not sure on Phillips' job security or scoring output, given I'm not sure he gets a whole lot of mid-time as much as we'd like. So yeah, keep an eye on Phillips. Gordon Grundy's fine. Any of the rookies on the bench are fine. Davies is a big problem. I don't think he plays round one. But yeah, Gordon Grundy's fine. And in the forward line, can't comment on Marshall, obviously, but yeah, Danaher, MP, and Perkins. Okay, Perkins has been doing okay this pre-season. I'm not sure on his tank. And I think he's indicated that he's going to play more forward. But for a rookie, I think it's okay. He seems very talented. Keep an eye on Perkins. Again, he's a pure... need way more info on Perkins, and Danaher I guess is fine. I can't believe Danaher is one of 2 or 3 players they said the other day that have completed every session at Brisbane, which blows my mind to be honest, but yeah, rookies seem fine. Bergman's doing really good this pre-season, but not sure he plays round one. So yeah, I think it's a good team. A little risky in defence, but yeah, thank you for your team, Brad. The next team we have is Lachlan's team. So we have the defence, Lloyd, Ryan and Laird, so probably the three of the most expensive defenders there are. So I suppose I just give Lloyd and Laird a pass every time, but Ryan's an interesting one. Does he lose a few kickouts to Hayden Young? But at the same time, he might be freed up more with a few injuries, a few key position players coming back for Freo. So sounds like Ryan's having a really solid pre-season. I feel like Ryan is a slight injury risk because apart from last year, he seems to get injured at some point every year. But coming into his prime, he's been very impressive last year. Don't mind Luke Ryan, has a really high ceiling. Just worry with injury slightly. And I think, I'm not sure other people see him as an injury risk, but I just feel like over the few years that he's been in the AFL, he's had quite a few small things here and there. Granger Brass, I'm not sure we need, but we'll see. Has endurance issues, but seems to be taking a lot of intercepts at training. Sicily is mentoring him, which is fantastic. And yeah, rookies look fine. And in the midfield, Neil, Steele, Oliver, yeah, that's fine. And then we have Lucas Parker. Don't know about Luke Parker. I just feel that the upside with Parker is pretty minimal. Seems to drift forward a fair bit as well, but I think he kind of has the midfield to himself. Maybe they run Mills through there, and Josh B. Kennedy's obviously going to be there, but getting on in age is Kennedy. So I don't really understand the Parker pick. I don't really see the upside. And if you look at his scoring over many years, it's 5 rounds of 120 and then it's 5 rounds of 85 to 95 average, and it's very frustrating because I've owned him before. I would not pick Luke Parker, I would pick somebody else, and I guess at that price range it's a little hard, but yeah, I'd try and get him up to a merit if possible, or just restructure. And looking at your team, I think you're going to need help in the defence and forward line. I would go Parker straight to Dunkley and chuck Dunkley in the forward line. That's what I would do there. Cripps is fine, Matt Rowe's fine, need to watch him still, Phillips fine. Still need to watch Phillips as well. Rookies look fine. And yeah, the forward line, Dusty Martin, I like Dustin as a pick, seems to be having a good pre-season. Every year it comes out he's having a good pre-season and then he just does the same thing as he did the year before. So I'm expecting 95 to 100 for Dustin Martin. I'm actually thinking more towards 95 because I suppose everyone had their scores slightly inflated last year. And I don't mind the Dustin Martin pick. He'll probably be around the 3rd to 6th best forward anyway. So yeah, Dustin Martin's fine as a starting pick, durable. Yeah, but you'll get him cheap if you don't start him. Joe Danaher, don't mind Danaher. So yeah, I spoke about him before. Completed every preseason game. Okay, there we go. Sorry, something happened there. So yeah, Joe Danaher, again key forward. They want him to play deep, and he might relieve in the ruck a little bit as well. So scoring opportunity there. Again with Danaher, I think I'd rather get him to like a 300k player in the midfield if possible. But I think in the forward line he's fine because he's cheaper and rock solid job security. But sounds like fitness is going really well for him, and yeah, said he didn't feel too great a month after the season, but after that, with a bit of conditioning, he's feeling fantastic. So don't mind Danaher for now. I think Zeeb was probably better with a far better role, but we'll see. And the MP is fine. Campbell I don't really want to pay up for. Seems a little... I'm not sure any of the expensive rookies this year from the draft. Not sure on them just yet because I'm not sure they're going to get their role. I think Campbell is half forward or half back. I think he's trained a bit more half back, but not exactly sure if he plays and not exactly sure if he gets moved around. So don't think Campbell will score enough, especially because we have a lot of decent forward rookie options, it seems, but wait and see. And yeah, it seems fine. I think Kelly's had a few injuries, so I'm a little hesitant to start him, but we'll see. I think he plays every game when fit. But yeah, I think the team's fine. So thanks for your team lock. So the next team we have is Thomas's team. So thank you, Thomas, for your team. Again, we have Marshall here, but not going to worry too much about that. But a few interesting picks to go over here. No Lloyd, which is interesting. I think you can get away with no Lloyd because he's maxed out in price. Probably not going to hurt you too much. Just going to be difficult trading him in. Callum Mills we have. A very interesting one. I think Mills is okay. He's shown a good ability to score in defence, but again, does he score well in the midfield, which is where he's going to play, it seems, at least at the start of the year. The sample size is pretty small on him in the midfield, so I want to see it. He's a very high pick, high talent. I'm not sure he's a high ceiling mid, but I think it's worth keeping tabs on Callum Mills. Been in the system for a long time now, and actually been pretty durable as well. So I don't mind the Mills pick. Again, I want to see it, and I'm still not 100% sold on him. But yeah, if you like the pick, go for it. Tom Stewart has a minor quad issue, so keep an eye on that, but otherwise should be fine. Starting to think Tom Stewart's actually injury prone, which while he has played a lot of games, he had the groin injury last preseason. Now he's got a quad issue, albeit minor, this preseason. Slightly worried and almost would prefer him as an upgrade target, but I think it's fine. Logan McDonald is just stressing me out, mostly because I just want to see how Noble uses him, and it seems like with Siebel back there, I still think they want the ball in McDonald's hands. So yeah, keep an eye on McDonald in the preseason. I think he's the most important one out of everyone to watch, just because if the role's not there, then see you later. But yeah, we'll need to see him play loose in defence. And yeah, rookies look fine. That's not sure Bianco, Gollan or Thompson plays. Bianco's been looking okay, but you're definitely going to need to change that up in a few weeks. Midfielder, no Neil. I don't mind no Neil. He's maxed out and he's got a calf issue, so that's fine. Will be annoying to get in, but yeah, I think we'll get him for like 100k cheaper, to be honest. Still Oliver fine. Walsh is an interesting one. Probably plays inside and outside, and played fantastic in the second half of last year after a really slow start. So I don't mind the Walsh pick. Durable and super hard worker, so fits the bill for Supercoach. Again, not enough inside time might hurt him a little bit, but we'll see. Matt Rao is okay, I guess. Just keep an eye on Matt Rao. A high ownership, but yeah, still need to keep an eye on him. Maybe a little light in the rookies, but we'll see. I think we'll get a fair few mid-rookies, so a few mid-forwards as well. The rucks are fine, and yeah, of course, Marshall not playing, but just substituting for someone else. My view is Dustin Martin, if you don't already have Dunkley, but it's up to you. Isaac Heaney. No, I don't like Heaney. I think limited preseason again. He always looks good, but the role is not there for him. It seems like he's playing more forward early in the season, so not for me, Isaac Heaney, and also just seems to find ways to get injured or play through injuries, so not for me, Isaac Heaney. Danaher's fine, I think. And yeah, the rookies look okay. I think, yeah, definitely these rookies need a bit of work, actually. I'm not sure Cook won't play, he's injured. And Newchurch is doing pretty well so far, but I think he's more of a project player for the Crows. But yeah, exciting prospect for the Crows, but yeah. So yeah, thanks for your team, Thomas. So the final team we have here is Tom's team. So thanks for your team, Tom. And again, we have in the defence, No Lloyd and Callum Mills. So again, I just spoke about Callum Mills in the previous video. Just unsure what he can do in the midfield. And the good thing with Mills is that he's shown he can score in the midfield, or he's shown he can score in defence and a little bit in the midfield, although it's been a very small sample size. But always been touted as a midfielder, and there is space for him in that midfield, it feels, at the Swans. Keep an eye on Mills, but yeah, a little bit pricey, but we'll see what he can do in the midfield, so excited to see what he can do. Like McDonald, just really need to see what role he gets. He did play that role, the loose role, in the intra-club. I'm not sure if Noble wants to switch that up, but yeah, keep an eye on McDonald, but maybe he could... I do worry he could start playing lockdown or something if they really like Siebel rebounding, but I haven't really seen enough of Siebel at halfback. So it feels like McDonald would be a better ball user than Siebel, so maybe they prefer the ball in his hands. But yeah, keep an eye on McDonald. Maybe Core takes some of his kickouts, which would drop him a little bit, but again, McDonald averaged nearly 120 in that role, so if there's a little bit, even if he drops back to 100, it's still a good result. Liam Duggan, I'm not sure on Liam Duggan, because when Yo comes back, does he go back in defence? But yeah, with Duggan, he's shown okay signs in the midfield and really good signs in this preseason. Just need to see it consistently. We haven't seen it consistently or in full-length quarters. So Liam Duggan, for me, I feel like he could be just under par. But again, I really need to see a bit more from Liam Duggan. But at this stage, I'm a bit nervous on him. But yeah, I think it was a reasonable, was he top 20 pick or something? So see how he goes. In the midfield, I think Nonia was fine. Steele and Oliver, fantastic. Josh Kelly and Fife, yeah, I don't think you can possibly start both. And Fife is going to play more forward anyway, so don't think he's going to be uber premium playing mostly forward, but not exactly sure. Maybe it's 50-50 split. Just yeah, with the forward time and the injury risk with Fife, it feels like he's an upgrade target. But if you really want to start Fife, that's fine, because I think a lot of people are avoiding him this year. And Josh Kelly, second full preseason, and look, he had a full preseason last year, and he did have 1 week off last year due to soreness, a soft tissue injury, or it wasn't actually an injury, it was just he needed a rest really, so maybe that happens during the year. He does seem to get randomly rested at times, and yeah, but when he plays, he seems to play with a really, really high floor. He doesn't really drop bad scores. So Josh Kelly's a risk-reward pick, but yeah, I think he'll be a top 5 mid if he plays on average, but total games. The last few years suggest that I'd be a little bit worried on Josh Kelly. So if you want to start him, it's fine. It's just, I think we have durable options where so for example, Zach Merritt, I mentioned Zach Merritt a few times, I'm starting to like him as a pick, but Zach Merritt, ultra durable, maybe he averages 10 points less. I think won't be 10 points, but for example, 10 points less, but you get that durability security there. Is it really worth it to go for Kelly for more points, but for injury risk? Not for me, but I understand if you want to pick Josh Kelly because high risk, high reward. Rookies look fine. Keep an eye on Phillips. Gordon Grundy, fantastic, and then Dunkley again. Marshall, just swap him for Dusty in my opinion. But if you like someone else, that's fine. And Joe Danaher again, mentioned. I think Danaher is okay. Look, with key forwards, it's going to be up and down, and he's missed a lot of football. So I don't think you have to pick Danaher, but a lot of value comes in that job security with Joe Danaher. So again, injury risk a little bit concerning, but only 200k. I only need him for not even a third of a season, maybe a bit longer, which would be nice. But yeah, MP's fine, and then rookies look pretty fine. I'm not sure Chug plays. We'll see, but heard some okay things. Thank you for your team, Tom. Thanks for all the teams that have been sent in so far. Feel free to send me more teams. I can't guarantee they'll be in the video, but I'm looking for some interesting teams to feature because these videos seem to get more views than the other videos I put a lot more effort into. But that's just how it is. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.